In this mini-series, we are going to talk about naming your business. This is a small but very important part of setting up. As entrepreneurs of future successful businesses, we want our businesses to outlive us. Of course, a large part of this is about what our business actually does. But do not underestimate the effect of a powerful business name. After all, if they can't remember what you do, then they can at least remember who you are. It can be hard to come up with a good name for a business idea you have. If you're like most entrepreneurs, you spend hours or even days dreaming up the best ideas for names, only to realize that it's not really a great name. Let's analyze all the best companies and their names and see what we can take from them about naming our own business. First of all the biggest companies' names seem to have 2 syllables in them. Uber, Facebook, Snapchat, Apple, Wizlaw. Well, we're not one of the biggest companies yet, but we'll get there. The point is that 2 syllables work. It's short, it's snappy, and it's easy to remember. However, 3 syllables is also acceptable. Amazon. These 3 syllables names of successful companies basically make your business name short and easy to remember. Long-winded names with 4 or more syllables are harder to remember in this ever-forgetful society. You want your name to come to your potential customer's mind when they think of the service or product you are offering. If they have to think extra hard to remember your name, then they are less likely to buy from you. The second thing to think about is whether you want your company name to be double-barreled or not. One-word names are better overall. However, double-barrel names look, sound, and feel stronger than one-word names. For example, British Airways, Mercedes-Benz, Coca-Cola, Sony Ericsson. These names may be longer and harder to remember, but usually the companies become staples in society and have stronger brands attached to them. One thing to realize about double-barrel names, however, is that these names usually get shorting anyways. British Airways is now commonly known as BA. Nobody says Mercedes-Benz anymore, we all say Mercedes. We all say Coke instead of Coca-Cola. And you probably didn't even know it was called Sony Ericsson. You probably thought it was just Ericsson. This means if you are particularly attached to your double-barrel name, you may be disappointed when people start shortening it to remember it better. Did you know that Facebook used to have a double-barrel name? As the famous story goes, Sean Parker, founder of Napster and former president of Facebook, advised then the 20-year-old Mark Zuckerberg to change the company name from The Facebook to just Facebook. Look at both names and think about the one you prefer. Finally, you may be thinking about naming your company after yourself. After all, you thought of the idea. Why should it be named after you? Here are some things to think about. Businesses named after the owner are usually personal brands. Personal brands are very different from products or services. Instead of the business being about the product or service being offered in a personal brand business, the business is tied to the person. So if you are comfortable having the attention on you for most of the time, rather than what you are offering, then naming a company after yourself may be a good idea. You can learn more about this in the personal brand category. However, having a product or service business and naming your business after yourself isn't uncommon. Most of the car companies we know and love are named after the founder. Lamborghini, Ferrari, Benz, Ford, Porsche, and so on. These aren't just foreign words for cars or fast. These are the last names of the great people who created the brands. If you go down this path, it doesn't change the fact that you personally will have to become a huge part of the branding of the company. Yes, the emphasis will be on the product or service you're offering, but there will also be a lot of attention on you. If you choose not to become a part of the branding when you advertise your business, you may be met with resistance from people who say, "Who is that and why should I care?" Here's an example. When anyone says Ben & Jerry's, we all think of the famous ice cream, right? It's crazy because Ben and Jerry are the most basic names ever. Under normal circumstances, that name should not have succeeded, but it did, because Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield got involved with the branding. They appeared in advertisements and they are very outspoken on social and political issues. All this meant that they managed to successfully attach their names to a great brand. And now, you can't say the name Ben & Jerry's without thinking about great tasting ice cream. Make sure that you are ready to do the same if you name your company after yourself.